Today we go back to school and compare the way pupils were taught in the old days with how they're taught today. Number 1. The classroom. In past centuries, classes could contain up to 100 pupils, often only girls or only boys, because most of the schools were single gender. And the schools could be pretty strict. Students would sit politely on wooden benches for fear of caning. For writing, they'd have slates or inkwells. Today, schools educate both boys and girls, at least in most countries, and school equipment has taken a great leap forward. Pupils nowadays work with computers, overhead and video projectors, eat lunch in the cafeteria, and get their homework done under parental supervision. And classes today are much smaller compared to earlier days. A normal class now contains around 30 pupils. Number 2. Pupils and teachers. There was a time when teachers had to have second jobs in order to earn enough money to live off. Teaching was also mainly a male profession, and pupils usually had the same teacher for all their studies. And it was not over when the bell rang. After school, children would be expected to work in the fields and help their parents in doing chores. Well, you won't find pupils working in the fields after school today, and as a result, they have much more free time than they used to. And teaching as a job has a much better reputation, and it's become more specialised, with different teachers for different subjects. Number 3. Education. Children usually have to go to school for 9 years. The teacher has a curriculum, but there's some variety in how they're taught, with group work, school trips, audiovisual projects, and so forth. In the past, some subjects were only taught to certain pupils depending on their gender, and boys were often exposed to corporal punishment. Teaching, in general, was almost military-like. So what's your take on early teaching methods and whether they've improved? And what was your school life like? Would you like to give it another go? Let us know in the comments section below. Did you know that cosmetic surgery...
Wow, Lisa, what do you think? Okay, can you summarize what you just heard and watched, of course?
In the past,
was already being
school uh, we were a school for boys and for girls, not for both.
Yeah, so schools were single gender.
Single gender.
Yes,
The school for single gender.
yeah,
Yeah. And maybe hundreds of students in a class, but now about 30 students in the class.
yeah,
And teachers, one teacher taught the same, one teacher taught all subject, only one teacher. But now we have different teachers teach
yes,
different subjects.
yes, of course.
Mm, and students in the past have to work after school,
Yes,
or uh, they didn't have free time. They didn't have a lot of time. And lunchtime, now students have lunch in the cafeteria,
cafeteria, canteen or cafeteria. Yes.
canteen. Yeah. In the past, I didn't get it.
There was
How
nothing in the past. There was nothing. Yeah, of
they
course.
have
No
nothing.
cafeteria. Yeah, first. Yeah, first. Like no
Maybe
cafeteria.
they only study a half a day, and maybe they didn't study all day,
No, the
so they
widow didn't mention about
didn't
the
need to.
time they spent at home, but I feel like since there was no cafeteria, of course, they had to bring what they needed, like to eat. So something like, I don't know, snack or something like this. Of course, the widow didn't mention it, but I think this way because there was nothing to eat at school. So even for a few hours, they needed to have something as snack for just, or maybe something quick to eat. Uh, but it was totally different. So no equipment, no facilities. And
Yeah.
of course, and we still have this problem with, large class size. Of course, now these days we can say that, yeah, classes have become smaller. Why? In order to make students closer. Like, then you have a warm and, closer place environment to study. But in the past, it was like large places. And of course, with 100 or sometimes more, sometimes less, just a number of students who studied together. There was no attention. Of course, they had to pay attention because there was corporal punishment. So punishment was also something like common in the past. But of course, today we don't have like something like
Mm.
punishment, okay, about
Punishment.
just for students. And so I feel like that's just comparing today and past, with and without, uh, students studied harder in the past and they made more achievements. They gain more achievements. Then, of course, now we have technology, science, and everything is developing, and we can see just, significant discoveries or inventions. But actually, everything is in the shadow of science and facilities and technology. So, for example, just imagine writing essay now, writing essay in the past. So they needed to work, they needed to search, find information without internet. Now, just you click, search, and that's it. Even
Mm.
AI can write it for you. So
Mm.
much more easier, but of course, so the result can be a little bit different. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And tell me, what do you think about this? Because, of course, these days, all, schools are mixed gender schools, like, girls and boys. But what do you think about this? So, do you think it should be single gender or mixed gender? So, and how is in your country, what is it, what does it like?
Yeah. In the past, my parents said that they study in the single gender school. Mm, and they said it was good. Um, yeah, nothing. There was nothing uh, complex. Yeah, it's good as they don't. They didn't tell me any um, difference between the single tenders and mixed tender school.
Yeah.
So I don't know the benefit of what is the benefit of the single single
Yeah.
tender school and mixed school.
Yeah, of course. Actually, it's a good topic to talk about. Like, what are maybe the advantages and disadvantages of mixed gender schools? So, of course, we don't have like uh single gender now. I think just in all the schools, maybe at least in most countries, are like mixed gender schools. So, let's talk about this. Okay, so let me write mixed gender schools. Okay, what do you think? So the first one, uh, what do you think about social development? So of course, I'm talking about advantage now. So, and the first thing that comes to my mind is social development. Okay, what do you think? So, for example, working on group projects when, for example, boys and girls help and they try to understand different perspective, working together, they try to understand different perspective. So, what do you think about it? Do you think it's useful for just, social development?
Mm, I think that boys and girls are provided something balance in psychology. Mm, and so,
So, no need. What?
social development, social development. Mhm. I don't
Okay,
know.
let's clarify this. Let's talk about it a little bit more. Students can learn how to communicate and cooperate with the opposite gender. I think this is what should be taught in high school or in schools. It's not only high school, so I mean schools. So they learn how to communicate and cooperate with opposite gender. That is really important. So this one actually this help them uh, prepare for real life workplaces and of course society. So they learn how to work with opposite gender in real life and real life workplaces and society. So I think that is a perfect practice to prepare them for real life workplaces. So they need to work. This is the first. And as you said, balance, like, you use the word balance. I want to use it, but not in this way. So I want to use it another way. So I think it's perfect for equality and reducing stereotypes. So equality and reducing, I think, stereotypes. For example, okay, boys are able to do this, girls are not able to do that. Okay, something like this, especially when it comes to sport. Or I don't know, like, academics. So not only sport, leadership, for example. Okay, boys can be better leaders, or maybe girls can be better leaders. So there are always some stereotypes, some beliefs about boys, girls, and genders. Now, if they say that both are equal and they can both, work, both they can work together. So of course, this, stereotypes will reduce step by step. So I think it's really important. And competition, that is really important. Competition between genders can motivate students. So I think healthy competition can motivate students. Yeah. And uh, let me say, and actually that is a real word. I think this way, it reflects the real world. Like, anywhere, just, we, men and women, I mean, live, study, work together. So I think it reflects the real world. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. But of course, the most important problem that we always have. This is
Mm.
negative for A, that is distractions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationships or
Mm.
appearance, of course, they focus, I know, especially teenagers, they focus on relationships or I don't know, their face, look, appearance rather than studies. This is the first problem.
Mm.
And we have some beliefs. So, some beliefs that boys and girls learn differently. Boys and girls learn differently. Actually, I want to ask your opinion on this. So, what do you think? Do you think boys and girls have different learning styles? I mean,
Yes, I think they learned differently.
how?
Mm, they are girls shows that they work hard. They um, they save a lot of time for study.
Yeah.
Um, but boys learned differently by they um, they research a lot. They're good at science, STEM,
Yes.
then yeah. Mm, and they don't spend a lot of time for studying. They play a lot, but the result, the boy, the result of the boys in seems better than girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. In primary school, elementary, or high school, may in secondary school, girl seems to learn better than boys, but um, in high school, boys tends to learn better than girls.
Yeah, maybe like I
Yeah,
perfectly agree
and
with you because
and
especially
yeah,
yeah, sorry, I
mhm.
interrupted you. Continue, then I will explain.
Girls good at art and boys seems to be good at STEM.
Nothing. Nothing. No, like
Uh-huh.
I can say that. Yeah, I do agree with you this about this that they have different learnings, especially when it comes to theory and discussion. So girls are just, more likely to discuss, to learn theories, to read and study. Boys are just, can be more active. So we can say that boys
Yeah, more active.
may be just, more active, while girls prefer like discussion, theories, so reading, studying, okay, focusing on maybe uh, subjects like literature, history,
Yeah,
but boys know. And maybe it's a little bit hard to adopt teaching methods in mixed environment. It's a little bit when it comes to mixed environment, maybe it's a little bit hard to adapt teaching styles or teaching methods. So it can be a little bit hard, especially for teachers, can be a little bit challenging because, two different gender, two different behavior, completely different attitude toward learning. So, for example, of course, I can say now we have girls, more especially when it comes to teenagers. So, like, now girls are so different. They're totally different with boys. So, boys are just more focused than girls, I can say. And unfortunately, there is another problem with this, of course, all of them are just, we can say that we say may, because there is
Yeah.
no certain result,
Yeah.
or for example, yeah, of course, no certain belief. We only think pressure. So I think students may feel more pressure to perform or to compare, especially when you say that you are just, watched by an opposite gender. So it's really hard to show your best. You know what I mean? Because you feel under pressure. So it's like, okay, just, I may be compared with the opposite gender. Maybe that boy is better than me. So it can create like, or it can cause pressure. Yeah. And of course, this comparison can be like frustrating, overwhelming, too stressful for students. And just this, yeah. And maybe because we have in most countries, but not every country, maybe co-education, that's, learning together, may go against traditions in some countries. So maybe this, leads like discomfort among students or parents. But mostly I think it's beneficial, maybe. Do you want to add something like another thing or no?
Mm, I have no idea to ask.
Okay. Well, oh, by the
Mm.
way, with your just, with your t-shirt and glasses today, you look like doctors. Yeah, really. So
Oh,
you
I
could be
want to be
doctor.
a doctor.
Yeah,
A doctor.
you could
I
be a
want to be a
doctor.
doctor.
Yeah, of course. Beautiful doctor. I think it's good. Yeah. Yeah, really. For you, I think it totally fits
A
you.
nurse is okay.
Yeah. Nurse? No, doctor. No. Now you look like doctor,
Mm.
not nurse. Well, okay, let's keep going with just let me see the page 44. Okay. So we talked about all these questions, but okay, which subjects were you good at or poor at? Or what did you find the most surprising thing about the school system in your country?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Um, I work. I was good at math and English when I study in high school, and I was afraid studying chemic chemical chemic chemical
chemistry? Chemistry.
chemistry. Um, yes, and maybe um I found uh I didn't understand chemistry.
You found
And
it
I,
hard to
yeah,
understand
I
chemistry.
don't understand anything about chemistry. Um, maybe about the teacher. Because of the teacher,
Definitely.
we when I asked my friends, they said the same. They told me the same that she was afraid of chemistry too. Yeah,
The teacher
and
was
on
scary.
most of us loved English and math.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
maybe because of the teachings.
Definitely. As we discussed before, the role of teacher here is really important to maybe make students motivated and, engaged in the class so they
Mhm.
want to be learn and to actually make progress. But if no, just, maybe with some strict rules, I do different methods. Students feel frustrated when learning and they don't want to continue, especially they feel like, okay, I'm weak, I can, I'm just, this is my poor area, so I don't want to improve it. Yes. And so I can say uh, most of the students, most of just feel intimidated by something like, for example, by a subject. So sometimes they are, the meaning of, let me give you, intimidated by something. I mean, you are or you were. So to be intimidated by something. So by a subject, for example, yeah, means feeling nervous or you're scared of something. You're scared of, for example, the teacher or that subject. So, for example, I remember that, we had a teacher, and I remember that, most of the students were intimidated by that, that strict teacher. And we couldn't learn because we just, used to focus only on our behavior during the class. So more than just focusing on learning and just being engaged to learn more. But yeah, some teachers, maybe some different methods. And what did you find the most surprising about the school system in your country?
You asked me you find most
Yes, surprising about
surprising about this was
your country.
my country
Yes.
about the school system.
Yep.
Mm, I think the school system in Vietnam is not very good because some of professors or teachers said um, the programs is far away from the practical.
Yeah.
Mm, they just what they teach in school is out of date.
Ah,
Yeah, many years or maybe uh, mm, so when we um, graduate, when student graduated from the university, they don't have enough knowledge
yeah.
to work. They have to learn from work. Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't gain practical, maybe knowledge, practical knowledge during just studying, so they can't use it in actually real life uh, situation, so they can't use. Maybe they are knowledge, but they don't know how to use their knowledge, yeah, in real life workplaces and environments. So let me ask you about grading system. Like, for example, just final exam or no, like maybe homework, quizzes, or everything. So let me ask you about this. I want to know.
Mm. We study and we have a test every week and take the exam after we finish a term,
Yeah,
maybe in a school year we have um two examination tests. Yeah, we have a four
final.
examination, important
Ah,
examination.
of course.
Yeah.
And so,
Mm.
like, so how about collecting points? Like, for example, what you do in class during the term, or for example, I don't know. Of course, we do have that, continuous assessment, like an assessment, like, and homework. And for example, we have quizzes, so different quizzes, okay? And class participation. So different items are included in final score, and we say it's like collecting points, not only that, just final exam. I want to know if the matter, just if the only thing that is assessed is final exam, or no, you have different things that can affect the final score.
The final scores from uh, the um, the test from the test, um, 50 minutes test or 1 hour test.
Yeah,
Uh, uh, we we with with them during the term during um every week, every month we have the examination.
you
We
have
have
quizzes. We say quiz is
quizzes.
better here. Yes,
Quiz.
quizzes, and of course, continuous assessments, like evaluations, continuous assessments. And how about homework? So I want to know if, this homework or these quizzes can affect the final grade or no.
Yes, yes. We we have a quiz and homework.
Yeah,
Um, and the scores of homework can be add to the final score.
yeah,
Final score.
got it.
Mm, um, but homework. After you do homework, you have a quiz
Yes,
about 15 minutes. 15 minutes to take to check to make sure you understand the lesson and the
yeah,
homework. You have to do homework so you
yes,
can do the quiz.
yeah,
And maybe um, after a week or 2 weeks we have a 45 minutes test.
got it.
um, or when you finish a lesson, we have a test to review on that lesson.
Yeah,
And after a term, or when you finish a term, mm, yeah, or a
that is the
semester,
final, of
one
course, final
semester we
exam,
have
of
a
course. Yeah, yeah,
final examination.
yeah, of course,
And
got it.
on we 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 summary